The veiled glowsome lights don't just illuminate, they burn your secrets, and when they flare, your lies take shape. Kael Wren woke to the flicker at 2:47 a.m., a sharp, unnatural glow piercing the silence of his desert bunker studio. At the studio, a concrete vault buried beneath the sun-scorched sands of Arizona, was his creative sanctuary, packed with cameras, monitors, and tattered scripts for his YouTube channel, Glows of Dread, where he spun fictional thrillers and probed haunted lights for 260,000 subscribers. He flicked on the desk lamp, its beam faltering against the bunker's damp walls, and saw it. His lamp, an old brass relic on the workbench, flaring with a sigil that pulsed like a flame. It had no source, hadn't been there when he'd collapsed after editing a video about cursed lanterns. The bunker was sealed, the vents bolted, the desert's silence absolute outside. Kael's heart raced as he approached, the sigil twisting, whispering a mystery he'd buried. "Kael, you betrayed her." He forced a laugh, a frail shield against the fear searing his chest, but the sound was swallowed by the glow. He was a storyteller, his channel built on crafting dread, not falling for it. Yet this was too vivid, too personal. His phone buzzed on the console, a notification from no sender. Shine it now. The air thickened, heavy with a scent like dust and something acrid, like blood. Kael wasn't reckless. He'd filmed in haunted canyons, narrated tales of forbidden lights for his series Lit Nightmares. But this was intimate, the glow too alive, its light crawling across the walls like veins. The sigil pulsed, the light forming a ring, silver, and etched with a crescent pattern, shimmering in the lamp's beam. The whisper named it, "You broke her vow." Kyle's stomach twisted. The ring was familiar. His friend Soren Vale had worn one like it, a token from their film school pact to always share their dreams. Soren had died 4 years ago in a desert cave-in Kael had survived. They'd been filming a high-risk shoot for his channel, Soren warning about the unstable rocks, Kael pushing for a dramatic scene under torchlight. The cave collapsed, and Kael escaped, telling rescuers he'd tried to save Soren, but he'd fled, too scared to dig through the rubble for her. The whisper sharpened, Soren's voice now low and accusing. "You stole my dawn." Kael's laptop flared, playing footage he hadn't shot. The cave, Soren trapped, her ring glinting, a shadow stirring in the dust. The light brightened, and the ring appeared on the workbench, its crescent glowing, warm as a pulse. His phone flickered, showing a live feed of the bunker, filmed from an impossible angle above, his face pale, the lamp glowing like a blaze. He looked up, no camera, just concrete slabs. The feed shifted, showing Soren behind him, gray and broken, her ring gleaming. Kael spun, but the bunker was empty, the whisper in the light. "Wear it." His hands trembled, guilt surging like a wildfire. He hadn't just survived. He'd lied, claiming Soren ignored his warnings, hiding his ambition. He'd built glows of dread on stories that erased her vision, profiting from her death as his subscriber count soared. The light intensified, naming his sins. Kael laughing in the cave, Soren's screams buried by the rocks. He doused the lamp with water, the glow fading, but it reignited. Fiercer, the ring glowing brighter, the whisper louder. "You gave her to them." A figure glowed in the shadows, its form blurred, its body radiating light. The bunker shook, the walls groaning, a door forming where his monitor stand stood, its frame etched with crescents. It wasn't in the bunker's layout, wasn't real. Kael clutched the ring, its metal searing his palm, and the door swung open, revealing a staircase descending into darkness. The whisper roared, "Find her." He didn't want to go. Every instinct screamed to run. But the ring pulsed. The lights glow searing his mind. He grabbed his flashlight, its beam trembling, and stepped onto the stairs, the door slamming shut. The staircase was stone, its walls carved with crescents flickering with the ring's light. The air was cold, smelling of earth and blood, like the cave's depths. The flashlight caught Soren's face in the walls, her eyes accusing, her ring glowing. Kael's chest ached, tears spilling. He hadn't meant to let Soren die, hadn't meant to lie, but the truth was worse. He'd craved fame, Soren's caution a burden he'd shed. The stairs spiraled deeper, the walls closing in, the air growing heavier. He stumbled, the flashlight skittering across the stone, its beam catching carvings of their film school days. Kael and Soren in the editing suite, splicing footage, laughing over cheap coffee, their rings glinting in sync. The memory stung, a reminder of the pact he'd broken, the trust he'd traded for views. The stairs ended at a chamber, vast and shadowed, its ceiling lost in darkness. At its center stood a plinth, the ring resting on it, glowing brighter, the light swirling around it. Soren's voice echoed, "You traded me." Kael approached, his legs heavy, the whisper pounding in his skull. He reached for the ring, and the chamber shook, the walls morphing into the cave, its rocks collapsing, dust choking the air. The flashlight died, the ring's glow the only light. The figure emerged, not Soren but Kael himself, his face pale, his body radiating the same glow. "You gave me to them," the figure said, its voice his own, layered with something ancient, ravenous. Kael backed away, the ring burning, naming his sins, abandoning Soren, stealing her shots, running from guilt. A memory surged, the pact, Kael and Soren vowing to share their art, sealed with the ring. Kael had broken it, whispering to the dark he'd trade anything for a viral hit. The cave closed in, the figure's hands cold, pulling Kael into the light. The ring glowed, its crescent rewriting his life. His channel erased, his name forgotten, his bunker gone. He fought, his screams drowned by the whisper, but the light was endless. He woke in the cave's ruins, dawn breaking over shattered stone. His bunker was gone, his phone blank, the ring cold on his finger, the crescent etched on his skin. Footprints, small and dusty, led into the fog. Kael followed and found a lens. Half buried, its glass reflecting his face, glowing with guilt. A whisper followed, his own voice. "You're theirs." Soren's voice lingered inside him, a light he'd never dim. Morning came and his studio was empty, his digital footprint wiped. The police found a burn mark in the ruins, shaped like a crescent. Locals whispered of a man in the fog, wearing a ring, waiting for someone to shine it. Kael's neighbor heard humming at night, a glow pulsing in an empty vault. Somewhere, in a place of dust and flame, Kael stands, the ring on his finger, his light flaring, whispering his failures. His own figure watches, its smile eternal.